Hello and welcome back. Last night was my second online class with HMI, uh, Hypnosis Motivation Institute, fully accredited hypnosis college. And that's what this channel is about now, talking about my experience as a 67-year-old stay at home dad, starting a new career and going to school, and how I'm going to bring that all together. How the heck am I going to do it, right? But that's what this channel is about, just to give you an idea if you want to stay tuned or if you want to just go, look for penguins or something. So last night was more of a real class. It was 3 hours. Uh, we actually practiced. We did our first practice session with other students, um, and so that was practicing a technique to determine suggestibility in the person that you're working with, and I found that was interesting. Um, it was basically no pressure. I mean, in my mind, it's like, oh, I want to remember it word for word. I wasn't able to print out the what we call the script. Okay, I'm in a hotel, and when I went to try to use their printer, I couldn't even find it on my phone. I'll have to look into that today. But the classmates that I worked with, just easy to work with and nice, pleasant, and it was good for me to see how they approached different things too. Like when I first started off, I was like, last night in working with another student, I was kind of hyper. I mean, I had a little coffee right there too. Don't drink coffee before a hypnosis class. What am I thinking, right? But so I'm like, okay, blah blah blah. Put your feet, firmly on the ground, and hold your hand up. That's not relaxed. Like your client, of course, even I already know this, right? Because I'm retired now, but I spent 30 years as a massage therapist. So come on, your client is going to feel you as well as you feel your client. So the gentleman that I was working with, and then another student, it was just well, he said, as soon as I started working with him, and we were done, I'm looking for his comments afterwards. Um, I forget his exact wording, but it was like, dude, slow down, relax. I'm not feeling it. So it was like, oh yeah, of course. So basically, I just took a deep breath, and then the next one I did, the next practice, I was able to bring it down more, which just relaxes me more when I'm consciously bringing it down more. It relaxes me more, relaxes them more, and then I had the opportunity to work with another student after that, and I brought it down more. So, first practice session for me, I mean, I was a bit anxious. Yeah, I had a little bit of coffee because, it was like by that time it was already after 9 o'clock at night and I'd already had a full day. But yeah, I gotta remember not to do that. It's not helpful. Meaning the coffee, right? So I enjoyed the experience. Of course, I want it to just come off as perfect, you know, and then just hear all this wonderful praise. Oh, you did that so well. I was transported to another universe, But the reality for me last night was I came into it just running when I should have been just basically taking a deep breath and walking slowly. But by the end of it, actually on my second practice session, I already was stepping it down. So it was important for me to have that experience to remind me, like I said, massage therapist, 30 years. Come on, I already know that, but um, my first practice session, I don't know. That's the way it worked out, right? Um, okay, suggestibility testing, why it's important. Like I said, I got notes here. It helps us understand how to work with the client, not in the sense of, oh, this person isn't suggestible, I can't work with them. How do I get out of this? No, it's more in the sense of which direction do I go in because of the personality type that I'm seeing. That's what I'm terming it right now. I forget how they say it, but personality type that I'm seeing, that kind of thing, helps me understand where to go with that. You know, do I move in this direction or that direction? So uh, not only is it super important, it's actually critical to the rest of the session. But how it actually felt to do that practice. Well, I was a bit anxious to start off for sure, but I'll tell you, it just turned out to be super enjoyable. You know, once I actually got right into it, um, and I was moving through it, and just basically through um, here I am, first time working with this person I've never met before, and that anxiety that wanted to go with that experience. Um, Once I just threw that out the window, basically, and said, "Hey, we're all new here, just do it." Um, it was fine. It was better than fine. It was very enjoyable. Afterwards, there was so it was a 3 hour class, right? After that, there was a quiz and then a 2 hour video. I only watched like half of the video because it was already late for me. You know, I didn't get to the video until like maybe 10:30, and I got to get up and start my day when the sun comes up, basically. So I only watched half of it. And there was like suggestibility test I was supposed to be have already taken, and I misunderstood that. I thought I wasn't supposed to take that until after the class. So I'll be doing that later today, and it didn't really interfere with anything. I just wasn't able to answer the question of where I came out with that personally. How did it compare to? How did this class compare to the first one? Well, the first one was more just kind of, introductory, who are you? Why are you here? Things like that. And as I mentioned, the one last night was actually uh, a real class. You know, we had real practice. Um, is there anything new or that I realized? I'm not able to say there was anything new that I learned last night, since I already have such a large interest and background in this subject. But um, realized for sure, like I said, I went into it way more animated, or whatever you want to call it, like hyper, than was actually good for the practice. But, it's like that in and of itself was a good experience for me. And I imagine the other students too, when they realize what that feels like, right? Um, okay, the next class will be Tuesday. I've got a lot of reading to do. There's a manual, and I need to be practicing what's in there for the next one. So, practicing again what I did last night, I imagine, because it's not just do that and then forget it, do that and then forget it. All of these will be steps leading up to something, bigger. So, anyway, there it is. If you found any interest in what I'm doing here on this channel, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any constructive questions or comments, I would love to read that in the comments section. I will read all the comments. And thanks for joining me. Hope you have a beautiful day. Give yourself a hug. I know you deserve it. Bye for now.